Our car tester Ina says the Skoda Yeti has been around for 4 years. More than 260,000 have been sold. Now the first generation is getting a facelift. What's unusual is that there will be 2 versions. This is the most important button here in the off-road outdoor version. Press it, and all systems are set to off-road. So now it's time to put this Yeti through its paces. Up first is driving through water. No problem for the Yeti. With a ground clearance of 18 centimeters and a fording depth of 30 centimeters, even the biggest mud puddles are no obstacle. We're testing the most powerful diesel in the engine range. The 2-liter 125 kilowatt TDI is equipped with permanent all-wheel drive and a 6-speed DSG gearbox. It has a top speed of 197 kilometers per hour, and the manufacturer says it consumes 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers. In Germany, the majority of SUVs never leave the road. Most drivers never give them a chance to show what they're capable of. The Yeti can handle 60% inclines, going up and down. If the off-road mode is activated, the car crawls down the hill without human intervention. The driver need only steer and tap the brakes now and then. And if you're often away from level ground, Skoda offers a hill hold control. And that's the tough outdoor version. But it has a more urbane stablemate. Yeti City is the name of the not-so-off-road version. What it lacks in rough and tumble, it makes up for in refinement. The most striking difference in the front is the honeycomb structure of the lower air intake. And where the outdoors black plastic rear shows off its toughness, the city version is also more elegant from behind. Skoda's Jan Emelut says it's really just a matter of taste as to whether customers go for the city or the outdoor. Technically, both versions are identical. They have the same engine choices and transmissions, and they have the same road clearance. But Skoda believes the city variant will be slightly more popular, with about 60% of buyers choosing it. Time to take the city for a spin, this time with the smallest gasoline engine and front-wheel drive. A manual 6-speed gearbox is standard, but a twin-clutch shifter is available. Ina says she was impressed by the Yeti's off-road performance, but the city version provides a much different experience when it's equipped with the smallest, most fuel-efficient engine. Unfortunately, there's no off-road button here. This model really is designed for urban traffic. The 77-kilowatt, 1.2-liter gasoline engine burns an average of 6 liters per 100 kilometers. The tested model with standard trim level costs around 21,800 euros in Germany. In the basic version, the smallest Yeti City can be had for less than 19,000 euros. And that is the Yeti's recipe for success. For a relatively low price, you get a practical SUV with plenty of room and state-of-the-art technology. Another new feature is the safety vest holder under the seats. The Yeti is also the first Skoda model to offer an optional rear-view camera. It has a roomy rear seat made up of 3 individual parts. Boxes and restraints in the trunk make it easy to keep things from moving around. The middle seat back can be easily folded down to form an armrest with cup holders. Ines sums up her Yeti adventure by noting that there's little difference between the city and outdoor versions, apart from their appearance. And here she likes the outdoor just a little better. Since there's hardly any difference in price, about 200 euros in the base model, Ines would treat herself to the off-road version.
Würde ich mir die Offroad-Variante gönnen.
1997.
Car tester Sascha Knapp remembers all the attention Mercedes attracted when they introduced their A-Class in 1997, one of the first mini MPVs. The third generation has little left in common with what appeared on the market back then. That might tend to work in its favor if it's going to appeal to a younger generation of car buyers. The new edition has considerably greater appeal, to Sascha at least. Unlike the second generation, this is a sporty car in the compact segment. The A-Class can easily hold its own with the VW Golf and the Audi A3. We tested the A200 gasoline-powered version with a maximum speed of 224 kilometers per hour. It makes the sprint from 0 to 100 in 8.4 seconds and takes just 5.4 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. On the outside, the new A-Class has had a complete makeover from its predecessor, just as the Mercedes designers promised. Under the hood is a 4-cylinder direct injection engine. It's also lower by about 16 centimeters, points out Sascha, quite noticeable when getting into the car. It's no longer as accommodating to older drivers as it is to the younger and nimbler. A dynamically contoured body with distinctive lines make for a sportier look. 17-inch alloy wheels are standard. The emphasis on width and horizontal lines in the rear makes a muscular impression, reinforced by the one-piece taillights curved into the side panels. The new A-Class has well and truly arrived in the compact segment. But at 341 liters, it has the segment's smallest cargo space. As sporty as the A-Class looks, it would be hard-pressed to carry even a golf bag without the back seat folded down. The speed-sensitive parameter-assisted steering lets the driver maneuver the car easily and safely, even at high speeds. The interior has also been redone with chrome-accented leather on all sides. The large interior display and the comfortable leather seats harmonize smoothly with the whole. There's no shortage of safety and assist systems to choose from. Whether lane departure warning or active blind spot assist, every option is available. Summing it all up, now that the new A-Class has shed its stodgy look and feel for a sportier design, Sascha Knapp is won over. If only the price weren't so high, though. The A200 we tested would go for some 27,000 euros. And that's even without extras, like the sat-nav, or any of a variety of assists. The high starting price of around 24,300 euros in Germany might scare off younger buyers, but the design won't. BMW is set to unleash M versions of its 3 Series sedan and new 4 Series coupe this May. To ensure high performance, both sport a carbon roof and optimized aerodynamics. A 6-cylinder turbocharged engine provides plenty of power, some 317 kilowatts and 550 newton-meters of torque. With its optional dual-clutch transmission, the M can reach 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.1 seconds. Ford has unveiled its innovative C-Max Solar Energy Hybrid based on its popular compact MPV. Running on electric power alone, the concept has a range of 33 kilometers. Its distinguishing feature is a solar array on the roof that allows it to be charged at no cost and with zero emissions. Ford has also developed a carport that concentrates sunlight. Parked cars move around a few centimeters underneath so as to maximize the energy yield. The Seat Leon ST is a serious competitor, both in the compact class and for fellow VW Group rivals such as the Skoda Octavia and VW Golf wagons. Our car reviewer Reinhold would take the spacious Spaniard over any of them. The headlights are nicer, the rear lamps classier, and he especially likes the typical Leon contouring at the rear. Let's see what else it has to offer. Following the agile Leon SC hatchback and the 5-door version, we now have the sportier ST. The new addition is a cross-fertilization of wagon and sports car genes, a hybrid engineered for fun and for hauling a family. The best thing for Reinhold is how agile the Leon ST is. That's partly because of its very low weight and also the result of its performance-tuned engine. The suspension is firm, but not too firm. Skoda has also learned from parent VW how to place every control where you expect it. Everything comes intuitively. We tested the most powerful gasoline-fueled version with 132 kilowatts. It makes the dash to 100 kilometers per hour in just 7.7 seconds. Top speed is 224 kilometers per hour. Fuel consumption is 5.8 liters for 100 kilometers, as ever, in theory at least. There's nothing to fault as regards the exterior. LED headlights are fitted as standard. The beefy-looking air inlets underlined its sporty character. The interior is all high quality and functional, and there's also a touchscreen monitor included, of course. The Leon ST also caters to those with plenty to transport. Luggage space galore, then if you have prolonged vacations in mind. Cargo capacity is always important for a wagon, says Reinhold. Actor Simon Burr has come along to help assess the ST. He's married with children, a car fan, and a passionate surfer. He definitely has serious cargo requirements. There's plenty of space for the whole family, he says. Today, though, Simon was out on his own, putting the ST's sporting prowess to the test in the mountains. Then he wanted to go surfing, and was amazed to see how easily his surfboard fitted in the back. You can also choose to have an even firmer suspension that gives you a harder feel on the road, adding excitement to the curves. The Leon ST has new driver assist you'd normally only expect from a formal family car. There's a radar system that keeps your distance on the highway and will also bring the car to a complete stop if need be. The same function is also handy in urban traffic, should a pedestrian suddenly wander into the street.
Weil gerade mal doch über die Straße hüpfen will, dann bremst das Auto selbst ab und vermeidet dadurch den Unfall.
Overall, the Leon ST is a sensible car with a sporty character. Prices in Germany start at 16,600 euros for the gasoline version. Reinhold was very impressed with the adaptive damper adjustment. He tried out all the available modes, but preferred sports over eco or comfort. And there really is a difference between settings. Comfort is more comfortable, and sport really is sportier. The options enable you to make the car behave just as you want it, which adds up to a great overall package.
Und das ergibt dann wirklich ein stimmiges Gesamtangebot.
They were cousins across the Atlantic, the Ford Consul in Europe and the Mercury Cougar in America. In 1972, Ford Europe introduced the console in Germany in 3 body styles, 2- and 4-door sedans, and the très chic sport sedan. The console's 2-liter V6 engine put out around 90 horsepower. Buyers could also opt for a lesser 2-liter 4V SX engine. The console's design was a product of 1970s tastes. The 1974 Cougar was built to American dimensions. At 5.5 meters long and 2 meters wide, it was too big for Germany's average garage. Mercury was a mark of the Ford Motor Company till 2011. The first generation 1967 Cougar was based on the sporty Ford Mustang, but by the mid-1970s, it had been transformed into something of a battleship, a gas guzzler that could have hardly been more ill-timed at the start of the oil crisis. Seen through today's eyes, the massive sedan looks way too bulky, but that was 1970s American car design. Nothing elegant or sleek about it, just heft. The buyer could order it with the 7.5-liter, 380 horsepower big block engine. The spacious interior and richly padded seats gave the driver the feeling of sitting in the luxury office of some Texas oil tycoon. Dirk Solomon rents out vintage cars in Berlin, including a Cougar and a console. They can lend a wedding party a touch of nostalgic extravagance. He explains that people who rent the Cougar mainly want to drive an engine that has 4 more cylinders than their own car and feel the power. In the 1970s, the Cougar was one of the last American cars with a truly big engine. But the Ford console attracts mainly younger people who think it's cool to go for a spin in a car from the 1970s. Dirk says if he felt like stepping on the gas and really letting it rip, he'd definitely choose the Cougar. Yet there are also times when he thinks it would be nice to drive the Ford console. It was a common sight here in Germany. In contrast, you could have counted the Cougars in Germany on one hand. And so his favorite for here and now is the Cougar. The 70s mustache, Prada glasses, and gold chains go with the Cougar like fries with a hamburger. Unfortunately, so does its fuel consumption, a whopping 20 liters per 100 kilometers. In the early 70s, the console and its successor, the Granada, were Germany's taste of the American way of drive, as the pseudo-English slogan went. Even though Ford scaled the American-inspired model to European dimensions, it was still too big for many German buyers. The Ford plant in Cologne followed American design cues: black plastic up, down, and all around. Both Cougar and console were upholstered in vinyl. At first glance, the console seems a relic of the world of glam rock, sideburns, and platform shoes. But this is exactly the car's allure for today's classic fans. And the German Ford's handling feels surprisingly modern, even sporty, especially compared to its American cousin. Bigger is not always better or more expensive. A vintage console in good condition can be had starting at 6,000 euros, if you can find one. But a second-generation Mercury Cougar would easily cost twice as much. The two Ford sedans are from two different worlds, but they have in common 70s nostalgia.